What's up, guys? This is Coach Tix Remember, DFW Penguin Basketball, penguinhoops.com. Guys, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Like I told you guys before, I'm working on a project talking about different types of coaches, different types of players, all different types of situations in sports. But today, in this video, excuse my shaky hand because I'm using my phone for this video. But today we're going to talk about the coach that treats his players or his or her players like they're their own. Now, the positives of this is, it's easy to point this out, right? If you have a coach, everybody's had a coach that's kind of like this, but that he or she makes you feel like they're part of your family. Like you can call them for anything. They give you advice outside of playing sports. They're pushing you the right way. They're calling you about if you have struggling in class. They're calling you, making sure you're getting stuff done. They're trying to get you in contact with tutors. You have a certain situation at home. They may be trying to help you out with that. It's a bunch of different great pluses to that when you have a coach like this, because you really feel like this coach really cares about you, and that if you weren't playing sports for them, they would give you, anything anyway. Right? They would really look out for you, and they take care of you, and they have your best interests at heart, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a great positive to have when you have a coach like this. It's a great feeling to have a coach that you feel like has your best interests at heart and will do a lot of things for you and always, is looking out for you. But as a kid, at times, this can be annoying to a certain extent. Now, there are some coaches that know when to pull it back and stop. They know their boundaries with certain things. But there are a lot of coaches that are this way, and they don't really know that they are this way in a negative light. So when I say negative, I mean sometimes these coaches don't know when to stop and let you have your own personal life, because they really start to think that since you play for them, you're their kid. Like that you are actually one of their children. So, for example, this is the type of coach that will, he'll come to a certain event or something. He'll come to a game. He'll come to your school and sit in the classroom if you're struggling and stuff. And all this stuff may seem great, but what I'm saying is, this is when the coach overdoes it to the point where it's kind of like a controlling thing. And a lot of coaches feel like, they need to control their players. And I'm not even just talking about, at a varsity level. I'm talking about when you guys are younger, Another example, let's just say, you tell something, you get really close to this coach and you tell him something about something personal that's going on with you as a kid. And you feel like the conversation is confidential, right? And then you look up, you're at home and you hear your mom talking to the coach that night, and he's telling him everything that you said. And it's like, man, coach, what's up with that? Like, I can't tell you anything. I thought we were cool, just being overbearing with a lot and just overstepping boundaries, personal boundaries with certain things. And a lot of coaches that are like this, they don't know that they're like this. And there's a few ways to combat it. But one thing I want you guys to know, if you do have a coach like this, you may be watching this and you play bad. You may play for me, or you have another coach that's like this that plays in other sports. Listen, I'll tell you guys this. Coaches that are like this, it's not just you that they're doing this with. They're like that with everyone. They're like that with their family. They're like that with their spouse. They're like that with their friends. And they may not even be coming from a negative place when they're doing this, when they're being nosy in your personal business a little too much, when they're popping up at certain events that you have that are personal, that have nothing to do with you playing sports with them, when they're calling you too much, wearing you out, texting you too much, sending you too many motivational videos and stuff online. And it's just like, coach, come on, man, chill out, right? They may not mean anything by it, but they either have some type of thing complex with control, or they're just like that. They feel like in order to help other people, they have to be that way. They have to be in their lives. They have to be constantly in contact with them and doing other things with them. And they don't realize that it's a little bit annoying at times, a little bit overbearing. And I mean, I might sound crazy saying this, but like I said, you parents that may be watching this, we've all had a coworker, a friend at school, a personal friend that it's like, man, you know, Lisa is really annoying. Like, she calls me every day. I know she means well, but goodness, like you sending me texts every hour on the hour about a bunch of nothing. Like, I know you're trying to help me out with the situation I told you about. I know you're just trying to be a friend, but it's starting to seem a little controlling. So I just want you guys to know that, you know, it's a few ways to combat that. If you're a player, we'll just talk about it from a player's standpoint. If you're a player and you have a coach like this to where he's just being overbearing outside of sports, he's DMing you, sending you videos, just wearing you out, calling you about a bunch of different stuff. Hey, I know you told me that you're struggling in this class. You know, are you doing it? Are you doing this? Like, man, I got a third parent, you know? And like I said, they may not come from a negative place with it, but to you as a kid, it's like, man, I don't need an extra parent. Like, I like you being able to help me in sports and a little bit outside of that, but, you know, you got to know the boundaries, coach. So you can do one of three things, guys, if you have a coach like this. One, tell your parents about it. Tell your parents that this coach make you feel a little bit uncomfortable with the frequency of contact. And just to let them know, hey, I think coach means well by it, but it's starting to be annoying. Can you talk to him about it in a good way, to get them to pull away from it a little bit? Because a lot of times you have a coach like this, he's a great person, but he or she's a great person, but this is starting to get a little bit too much. And two, if you know, sometimes parents don't want to talk to your coach about that because they're in the same boat as you are. They may have even went to the coach and told them to push you because they can't get a certain thing out of you that the coach can. So when you feel this way and your parents don't want to help you out, they don't want to have that conversation with them, you can go to the coach directly yourself and talk to him and tell him, hey, from a positive standpoint, hey, coach, you know, I appreciate you trying to help me out. And you call me. I said, but man, it's starting to be a little bit too much. I know you're trying to help me out, but, you know, I'm already getting pressure from my parents about this situation with my math class. And then you popped up in my math class. And then you called me about my math class. Then you send me all these links to these math tutors. Like, it's a little bit too much alongside with my parents and, you know, people around me. It's a little bit too much. And a lot of times the coach, you know, he may be feel a little bit offended, but the fact that you brought it to his attention will make him chill out. And thirdly, if it becomes way too much for you, just quit. Just quit the guy's team. You don't want to do that, okay? You definitely don't want to do that, especially if you like the guy. But a lot of times if you have a coach that's sane and he's not actually trying to control you by doing all of these things and trying to constantly be in contact with you outside of playing the sport, he's going to understand. He's going to back away a little bit. He or she may be a little bit offended, but they will understand. And they may still help. You know, of course, they're going to still try to help you, but they'll understand that, hey, I may be taking it too far. Me popping up in this guy's math class may be a little bit too much. All right. Now, I know some of you guys watching this like, hey, you know, what is Coach Chase talking about? The only people I'm trying to reach are people that are going through this. So you may not understand what I'm talking about if you've never had a coach or a person like this in your life, if that makes any sense. So for the most part, a person like this can help out a lot with a kid's life, do a lot for them. But sometimes coaches like this are a little bit overbearing. You got to remember that a lot of times they're not coming from a bad space. They're trying to help out, but this is just how they are. They're like this with other aspects of their life, other people in their lives, and other subjects of their life. And they feel like if they're not doing this, they're not helping. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys later.